Okay. Miss Ghost, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, we have a 1-year-old daughter named Alexis Ray. We're not together anymore. We were married for 2 years. We divorced because I like women. And so I want to put him on child support. He don't do nothing for his little girl. So that's basically.
Okay. So you all divorced, have a 1-year-old.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want him to pay child support?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, seems pretty straightforward.
She stood before the judge, calmly stating her case, claiming he does nothing for their 1-year-old daughter. But what shocked the courtroom wasn't just her demand for child support, it was the reason she left him. Because I like women, she said. Now she wants him on the hook. But is that the whole story? Or just the beginning of a deeper drama? This courtroom clash is about to get messy. Stay tuned.
And you want him to pay child support?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, seems pretty straightforward. Sir, what do you have to say about that?
Your Honor, I don't have a problem paying child support, but, she did leave me for somebody else. She cheated on me throughout our relationship and things like that.
That's another court that has nothing to do with me. Continue.
Yes, ma'am. I only make $16 an hour, ma'am, as a warehouse supervisor, so it's really hard to make ends meet. So I don't know how much I can give. It's expensive to live where we live,
He took the stand, not with anger but with visible pain. She left me, cheated on me, and now wants money. He earns just $16 an hour or, so he says, but his emotions bubble up, so do the lies. Is he playing victim, or is there more to uncover? You won't believe what the judge uncovers next.
I don't know how much I can give. It's expensive to live where we live,
Well, according to the documents you provided, you made $18 an hour, not $16.
Oh.
Oh. So
He's
you
also
don't
a
know how
liar,
much you
Your
made?
Honor.
No, ma'am, I was mistaken. I apologize.
Oh, okay. But you get a check every month, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all made the perfect couple. You're the liar, she's the cheater.
Well, that's
Yes, ma'am.
semantics right there. That's the particulars. He lied. I didn't cheat on him.
Okay, well, we already established that he lies. I mean,
Oh, yeah, see, I told you he was a liar.
Well, I mean, you didn't even have to tell me that. He
You knew
told me.
that, right?
I don't know how you do
So,
it every
you know.
single time.
The truth snapped like a whip. You make $18, not $16, the judge revealed. The courtroom gasped. I was mistaken, he mumbled. Accusations flew. Liar, cheater. The judge tried to calm the storm, but it was clear. Someone isn't being honest, and the judge is just getting started.
Well, I mean, you didn't even have to tell me that. He
You
told
knew
me.
that, right?
I don't know how you
So,
do it every
you know,
single time.
What do you?
What I don't need you all to do is address each other. You all
Yes,
will
ma'am.
address me. There's obviously a reason that you're no longer married. Okay?
Because he's a cheater.
No, because you guys were the perfect storm is why you guys are not married anymore. Now, in terms of health care, who pays it for this child?
He pays it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
She's on his Medicaid.
Okay, so wait a minute. The child lives with you,
Yes, ma'am.
and the child is on Medicaid.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you paying Medicaid yet, or you haven't started paying them?
Yes, ma'am. I am paying for the child's health care right now.
Okay.
Don't address each other, me, the judge snapped, as tempers flared. Their failed marriage once. The perfect couple has unraveled into a war of insults. But when the judge asked about the child's health care, a bigger problem emerged. Medicaid isn't free and someone's about to pay the price.
Are you paying Medicaid yet, or you haven't started paying them?
Yes, ma'am. I am paying for the child's health care right now.
Okay. So you guys understand that Medicaid is not health insurance, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is health. It's not health insurance per se in terms of a private carrier, but for the child, that particular service is through the state of Texas. So that money does have to be repaid to the state. You're not paying health insurance to her. You understand that, right? Or you didn't understand?
I
'Cause you're looking real
understand. I
confused.
understand that now, ma'am.
You understand it now? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you understand that Medicaid has to be reimbursed to the state, and you're going to have to start paying child support at $18.
Medicaid, the judge explained, isn't free in surds, a debt to the state. Now he must reimburse Texas for every penny. At $18 an hour, the cost of fatherhood just skyrocketed. Shocked and cornered, he agrees. But is he really prepared for what comes next? Brace yourself, emotions run high in the next round.
You understand that Medicaid has to be reimbursed to the state, and you're going to have to start paying child support at $18 an hour. You understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You looked real depressed just then. I mean, did I say something wrong?
No, ma'am. It's just I just know how much it's going to hurt, ma'am. That's all.
Know how much is what is going to hurt you.
The child support hit.
And you do understand that, Mom, are you working?
No, ma'am.
Why aren't you working? Why aren't you working?
I mean, I just don't work.
You don't want to work, but you think that he is solely responsible for taking care of your 1-year-old?
Well, she
Now,
lives with me,
granted,
so
if-
I take
excuse
care.
me, I was talking, thanks.
His voice cracked. I just know how much it's going to hurt. The weight of child support settled on his shoulders. Meanwhile, she admitted she's unemployed by choice. Is it fair for him to bear the burden alone while she contributes nothing? The judge is about to ask a question that changes everything.
Think that he is solely responsible for taking care of your 1-year-old?
Well, she
Now,
lives with me,
granted,
so
if-
I take
excuse
care.
me, I was talking, thanks. If she does live with you, yes, she does live with you, and he will be obligated to pay child support because of that. But you also need to be working too.
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you gonna come back in here next time with some proof of looking for a job?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I will, and I'm currently pregnant again. So we might
Your
be
Honor,
for
that is not my child.
Oh, that was my next question, but
I ain't touched her in like almost a year.
okay, that is good information to know.
Wouldn't
That
touch her
has
either.
nothing to do with this, because a child that is not born is not a child within existence at this moment.
The twist, no one expected she's pregnant again, but before the courtroom could process it, he dropped a bomb. That's not my child. I haven't touched her in a year. The judge raised an eyebrow, but the case just took a wild turn. The question of paternity just became unavoidable.
A child that is not born is not a child within existence at this moment, so therefore child support can be determined anyway.
We'll be
And
back, though,
You'll be back for
We'll be
that
back.
child. Okay, well, when you return, we will discuss
somebody
that
else.
child.
with you. We'll be back with you.
Well, sir, just make sure you know, I just want you to know that you do have the right to get a DNA test.
Oh, really?
Yes, you have a right to get a DNA test on that child that she's pregnant with, just to make sure if she does bring you back, that if it's not your child, you won't be placed on child support.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you understand that?
But it's your child, so don't worry about that.
Ma'am, I don't need you addressing him, okay? And as of right now, we don't know whose child it is. Well,
As the judge explained his rights, it hit him he might be forced to support a child that isn't his. A DNA test could be his only escape, but she didn't like that idea at all. The tension snapped like a rubber band. One wrong move could cost him everything.
addressing him, okay? And as of right now, we don't know whose child it is. Well, when I say we, I'm speaking about the court. We don't know whose child it is, because you're currently pregnant. He hasn't had an opportunity of doing DNA tests, okay?
You get pregnant from another girl.
All right. Sir, I do not need that extra sidebar over there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, so based on $18 an hour, what is your work week? And truthfully, how many hours do you work a week?
Roughly 60 hours a week, ma'am.
Okay, you told the truth about that. I just have to verify everything that you say from now on. So,
I'm
$18 an hour at 60 hours per week. That brings your gross to about $2,160.
The judge clarified the court doesn't know who the father is. Until a DNA test proves otherwise, he's still at risk. Meanwhile, his grueling 60-hour work weeks paint a picture of a man just trying to survive. But will honesty be enough to save him? The money math is coming next, and it's brutal.
$18 an hour at 60 hours per week. That brings your gross to about $2,160. Your net of $1,903.58. Now, in terms of health insurance, at another time, you do have the right to get some sort of health insurance plan for your child. However, for today, you're going to have to reimburse that money to Medicaid. So what I'll have to do is I'm going to take 9% of your gross, that $2,160 amount. 9% of that is $194.40. Now, if you are able to find some health insurance that's cheaper than that, that would be great. You have the right to do that.
With precision, the judge broke it down. $18 an hour, 60 hours a week, gross pay of $2,160. From that, she calculated his obligation, $194.40 for Medicaid. But that's just the beginning. He now faces a monthly bill that could derail his life. The final number might just knock the wind out of him.
Now, if you are able to find some health insurance that's cheaper than that, that would be great. You have the right to do that. And when that does happen, you can come back to court and we can make the change, okay? But as of today, that's the number. Then you're going to pay, your child support obligation is $380.72. But mom, sir, asked that you pay back pay since the day that the child was born. You know what that means, right?
No, ma'am.
So pretty much that $380 amount, you're going to be responsible for paying that for the past 12 months. Yeah.
He sat frozen as the judge revealed his real obligation, $380.72, plus back pay for an entire year, over $6,600 owed for the past 12 months alone. He looked stunned, unaware that cash payments don't count. And the worst news was yet to come.
You're going to be responsible for paying that for the past 12 months. Yeah. You're looking real confused right now.
Not confused, concerned, ma'am. That's
Yes.
all.
Well, okay, so up until this point, you have not been giving her any type of financial support for your child. Isn't that correct? It's a yes or no.
I have, ma'am, but I can't prove it because it's always been cash. I've always.
So the answer is no,
Yes, ma'am.
because if you've given her cash, that's a gift, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So the back pay that she requested for the past 12 months would bring your back pay, is also known as retroactive child support, $6,600, okay?
I did give her money, just in cash, he pleaded. But the judge cut through it. That's a gift, not support. Now he's saddled with a $6,600 debt and no proof to fight it. His confused expression masked a deeper fear. How will he ever catch up? But the final ruling is still to come.
It's also known as retroactive child support, $6,600, okay? And I'm going to make that payable at $100 per month. So your new child support obligation is going to be $480.72 a month. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you all have any further questions or anything? Any concerns you want to bring to the attention of the court?
No, ma'am.
Anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
The judge made it official. $480.72 a month every month, plus $100 toward back pay. He nodded silently, holding back emotion. Neither party had more to say. The courtroom quieted as justice was served, not perfectly, but firmly. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more true courtroom drama. Because sometimes, the real battles happen after love fades.